ASEAN's Strategic Pivot, Advancing Trade, Digital Growth, and Regional Resilience by AZLAN ADNAN, MEA. At the 46th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Southeast Asian leaders launched an ambitious new initiative, the ASEAN Trade and Digital Resilience Blueprint 2030, marking a decisive step toward greater economic integration, digital transformation, and regional connectivity in a world reshaped by geopolitical tension and economic uncertainty. The blueprint is structured around three key pillars. 1. Enhancing intra-ASEAN trade. 2. Accelerating digital infrastructure and interoperability. And 3. Deepening cross-border connectivity in energy and logistics. Together, these pillars reflect ASEAN's effort to future-proof its economy amid external shocks such as U.S. protectionism and China's expanding influence. Intra-regional trade, unlocking ASEAN's internal market. Despite ASEAN's collective economic weight, being the world's fifth largest economy, internal trade among member states remains limited, hovering at just 22%. The new plan seeks to overcome long-standing obstacles such as customs inefficiencies, non-tariff barriers, and regulatory divergence. The blueprint commits to full implementation of the ASEAN single window, aiming to harmonize customs procedures and digital documentation across all 10 member states. Mutual recognition agreements will also be expanded to cover key sectors, including electronics, healthcare, and professional services, intended to facilitate the movement of goods, services, and skilled labor across borders. Leaders reaffirmed that strengthening the internal market is essential for ASEAN's resilience, reducing dependence on volatile global supply chains and creating a self-reinforcing growth engine within Southeast Asia. Digital transformation toward an inclusive and secure digital economy. Recognizing digitalization as both an economic opportunity and a strategic necessity, the blueprint outlines a sweeping agenda to narrow the region's digital divide. This includes the creation of a regional digital infrastructure fund, targeting $10 billion in investments for broadband expansion, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and smart city solutions, particularly in underserved areas. One standout feature is the proposed Digital ID Interoperability Framework, designed to enable seamless and secure cross-border digital transactions, benefiting e-commerce, remote work, and financial services. A pilot involving Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines is expected by 2026. ASEAN officials stress that digital trust, through data protection, digital rights, and cybersecurity, is central to unlocking the full potential of the digital economy. The framework is expected to be a cornerstone for broader cooperation with external partners, including the EU, Japan, and India. Infrastructure and energy connectivity, building the foundations of resilience. Another pillar focuses on physical connectivity, especially in energy and transport infrastructure. The blueprint revives long-stalled projects like the ASEAN Power Grid and the Trans-ASEAN Gas Pipeline, with Laos, Thailand, and Malaysia leading a pilot in renewable electricity trade. Logistics reforms include expanding the ASEAN highway network and implementing the Digital Freight Corridor, which uses blockchain and GPS to reduce costs and delays in cross-border trade. Additionally, a regional green bond initiative is under development with support from ASEAN central banks and development partners. This aims to finance sustainable infrastructure while standardizing green finance practices. Navigating global uncertainty with regional unity. The timing of the plan is geopolitically significant, with the U.S. under President Donald Trump adopting a more protectionist stance and China intensifying its regional investments. ASEAN's external environment is increasingly fraught. The blueprint serves as both a shield and a statement, a shield against overdependence and supply shocks, and a statement of ASEAN's intent to shape its economic destiny. The plan encourages diversified trade partnerships beyond the traditional major powers, including new negotiations with the Gulf Cooperation Council, Canada, and Africa. ASEAN is also leveraging the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, and potential digital economy agreements to secure its global standing. Variable geometry and inclusive growth. Understanding that implementation capacity varies across member states, the blueprint adopts a variable geometry approach, allowing more capable economies to advance first while others follow at their own pace. A core group, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand have committed to full adoption by 2027. The ASEAN Business Advisory Council and youth-led forums have welcomed the initiative, but called for greater inclusivity, emphasizing that rural and marginalized communities must also benefit from digital and trade reforms. Conclusion: ASEAN's defining decade. The ASEAN Trade and Digital Resilience Blueprint 2030 is not merely an economic policy. It is a statement of strategic intent. In an era defined by fragmentation, ASEAN is choosing integration. Where others are turning inward, it is building bridges, both literal and metaphorical. The challenge ahead lies in translating ambition into action. If implemented effectively, the blueprint can transform ASEAN from a reactive bloc vulnerable to external shifts into a confident, connected, and future-ready regional powerhouse, capable of charting its own course in a turbulent world. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed, now seek the skies, and slowly, clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.